Summer 2021 is only a memory, but the joys of the season will be with us for a while yet.
Case in point, our ice cream parlors will be open for a while yet. Now, something that you might find a little hard to believe. Author Jim Duffy of Secrets of the Eastern Shore does not like ice cream.
Oh my goodness, what?
I do not like ice cream, it's true. I am a salt person, not a sweet person. If I ruled the world, dessert would be like from one of our local farm markets, like gourmet sweet potato chips or Thrasher's fries.
Which ain't bad,
No.
That would be like dessert
Yeah.
for everyone. I'd force it on everyone if I ruled the world.
So anyway, he does our local history. He is here today to tell us more about an ice cream parlor innovation.
Indeed.
As it were, and just exactly what it means to us and why it was created in Milford?
In Milford, by a man named John Mulholland. He was a wanderer. He was born in Belfast. He moved to Canada. He joined the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and fought Indians. Then he moved back to Belfast. Then he moved back to Canada. He ends up in Philadelphia, all right? And he's in the advertising game, making signs and placards and logos for businesses. Now, this is a time when ice cream parlors, is the early 1900s, and ice cream parlors are really just, it's getting to the point where refrigeration technology is good enough and you can open kind of a roadside place and people can pull up in their newfangled car and get it. But there were two problems facing these ice cream parlors. Number one, they served their ice cream. Very few of them used cones at this time. They served it on a flimsy paper plate, you can imagine. The second one was the cheapest disposable spoon they could use was made of tin. Sometimes that cut your tongue.
Ooh.
It also gave the ice cream a lovely tinny aftertaste.
Oh my gosh. So along comes John Mulholland.
Along comes John Mulholland. And in 1915, he applies for a patent to take a paper plate and then take a second, heavier, transparent paper plate and kind of glue those two things together so it's strong enough to hold the ice cream. And the transparency, he's in the advertising game, remember?
Right, yeah.
That allows the ice cream company to like put their logo on the plate or sell space on their plates and things like that.
Okay.
All right?
And this was in Philly?
He's still in Philly at this point. It was the second of his innovations that brought him down to Delaware. So he's wandering through lower, slower Delaware. He ends up in a company where they make fruit baskets. And he's taking a tour of this company where they make baskets for fruit. And he learns that in making these baskets, they use this veneer covering. And the reason why they do that is because the fruit sits out to dry in these baskets for a little while. And the veneer covering means it has no aftertaste. It doesn't leach into the fruit.
Right.
So he starts to thinking, having already tackled one ice cream problem, about how he can solve the tin spoon problem. And he makes up this brand new kind of manufacturing process, working with first a company in Laurel, Delaware, Robinson, I think the name was.
Yeah,
they were making the baskets. And then he eventually started his own place in Milford, where he started making these spoons, and he had like a die cut process to make it, to cut the wood properly, so it came out like an actual wooden spoon. He called it the Bentwood spoon.
The Bentwood spoon. So did it catch on?
It took a little while. His first sales calls, everybody thought it was a little bit too expensive. But then one of his marketing clients up in Philadelphia was this little fledgling company then called Breyers. Breyers. And Breyers decided to take a chance on his spoon, and then it took off everywhere. So he became the second largest employer in Milford, and he eventually opened up Oregon, Maine, and Michigan. He moved into mustard paddles. He moved into tongue depressors in the medical market, and the whole thing kind of blew up into this giant business.
I remember the wooden spoons, but you don't see wooden spoons much anymore.
No, you gotta kind of see them on eBay, and they'll cost you a little money if you tried to search for like a bentwood spoon on eBay. It would cost you collectible kind of money if you were able to find it.
Really? Because we used to get them when we get ice cream in elementary
I remember
school.
Too. I remember too. We're giving away our age here, but I remember too.
Yeah. So there was something to replace that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So he made ice cream taste better.
Yeah.
And he also was a generous person, wasn't he?
He was. So he ended up living most of the time in Milford. He still had his place in Philadelphia. There's a place there called Haven Lake. That's where his house was. He decided, it was private, all private property, but he bought a bunch of property there because he wanted it to be public, and he opened it to the public as a beach. And then he started to do this work with the wildfowl. The migrating wildfowl came in. At one point, he hired people to feed and care for all the wildfowl. They came in such numbers that what's now DuPont Highway, traffic would be stopped because there were so many photographers and movie cameras because of the vast expanse of waterfowl that were on the beach.
How about that?
And the last thing that I'll mention is he showed up at the city council in Milford one night with a city seal and a city flag that he had made up and using his advertising stuff. That's still in use today.
How about that?
The seal and the flag.
So the person who designed the seal of Milford is also the person who designed the wooden ice cream spoons.
Exactly.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love it when you're here.
It's fun.
I want some ice cream now, but anyway, thank you so much, Mr. John Duffy, author of Secrets.
Jim.
Jim Duffy, author of Secrets of the Eastern Shore.